Morning, guys. Here I am back in the kitchen. If you saw my video before this, if I posted it, I apologize now for falling apart at the end. I tried to get myself out of the shadow and then I dropped the phone, and so the video ended quite abruptly, and I do apologize for that. It's always the way. Hey, I get to the whole end of the video and then I drop it. Okay, I just got to shift the light a little bit because it's in my way. I brought my light back out. I'm hoping that that helps. Okay, let's do this. So my base is a ceramic tile. I did have a little bit of alcohol ink work on it, but it's not going to affect it at all. Not one bit. So here we go. Paynes Gray. Paynes Gray, as you know, is a color I use all the time, and it gives a really nice contrast and it leaves really nice shadow effects behind. And that is why I use that. So Paynes Gray. This is raw sienna. I kind of got like this southwestern vibe going on, I think. This one was a Artist Loft floetrol gold, and it was really boring and really drab, and so I added a little bit of yellow and a tiny bit of Liquitex, not Liquitex, yeah, that's the stuff, Jacquard dry pigment powder in it, in a really pretty gold color, brilliant gold, I think, just to give it a bit of sparkle. Okay, this one is Liquitex. This is a gouache paint. It's a matte finish, so I've added quite a bit of stuff to this to get it to work, including pouring medium, a little bit of polyacrylic, a little bit of iridescent pearl medium. So we'll see what happens. Permanent violet. And let's add some brilliant yellow in there. A little bit of, this is Bare Satin Enamel House Paint. And I was finding it was taking over, so I've kind of toned it down a little bit now with just Artist Loft floetrol, and I've probably gone less than 25% of the enamel paint, because it really was just, it was taking over. Okay, that was rose gold. And here we go, guys, black sill mix. All right, let's blow this out and hope for the best. Here we go. Oh, that's not gonna work, you guys. Did you see what I did there? I didn't put black sill mix, I put Paynes Gray over top. Oh, goodness. Okay, so there's blooper number 1. Let's just start again. Let's just put more paint right over top. Paynes Gray. Permanent violet. That was dumb. Oh well, this will be a good experiment. Raw sienna. This beautiful turquoisey teal color of the Liquitex paint. Bright yellow. Well, this will be fun. Rose gold. Bare satin enamel. Let's put some more gold in here, just because we have a lot of paint going on now. Not that that's going to matter. All right, this time I'm going to use black sill mix instead of more Paynes Gray. We're going to put it right in the middle of all of this. Oh, there we go. All right, take 2. Let's blow this out and now see what happens. All right, look at these colors. Lots of them too. So I already know this is probably going to have way more paint coverage than I like, but I didn't see much point in scraping and wasting it when we haven't done anything with it. So we're just going to do a modified bloom with extra paint. It's not going to matter. So we're going to help it along here. Might even tip it a little bit, get it a little more centered. Love that turquoise color, it's lovely. Okay, I really need to give this a minute because my pillow was so deep that my center is really stuck. But we will modify right through it. So let's start now, and that will help break up some of the black. That was dumb. I don't know that I've ever done that before, you guys. Okay, so I am going to, what you guys can't see in my fancy new spinner box is I've left the side facing me open so that I don't have to reach over it all the time. So I'm just gonna, I left a long section of this cheapy tablecloth and I'm just gonna hold it up and we're gonna give this a spin. Okay guys, here we go. Spin it again. You spin it this way. Let's go this way. All right. Well, that's quite pretty. Definitely very quite pretty. Very quite. I'm not even sure if that makes sense. Very quite pretty, my friends. So let's just, I don't really want to take much more paint off because I'm liking the negative space. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up. We're going to put it on a little kind of a raised cup thing because it's easier to modify and it's easier to get off. Look at that, you guys. How pretty is that? All right, let's try to finish this modifications without any further disasters. It's actually good. It's good to keep going, you guys, just so that you know, lots of people say, oh, you know, everything you pour is amazing. It's not. Trust me, everything I pour is not amazing. It's just the joy of video is that you guys only get to see what I want you to see. So I'm glad we kept going on that. I'm going to come over onto this side so that I'm not working over top of you. And then we're just going to modify, you guys. So this piece has lots of open space, which is really good for modifying. You know, the more open space and bigger lines, the more distinction you can get between your modifications. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's do this. So modifying tool number one, a toothpick. A toothpick, you guys. All right, we're just going to do this. We're going to go through it. Make some funky little lines. So you can make your lines big, you can make your lines small. You know that. Sometimes I make some small, some big in the same section. It's really up to you. You know, it's all doable. So on my last video, I mentioned, which I kind of sometimes I forget. I do this all the time and I just get busy. If you hold your stick or your popsicle stick or your dental pick tools work really well on an angle and kind of sliver it through, you definitely get a feathery, softer look. So definitely hold your hold your tools differently and just keep working at it. It doesn't look like much, but it's the overall appearance of your piece that you're going for. And so all of these just slight little marks and movements, they create little spots of visual interest that your eye kind of travels over. This will be super interesting because somebody just stuck their finger in it. So let's fix that before we get too carried away here. And the paint is really versatile, you guys. It's easy enough to fix at this point. Just like that. Just use some more paint. It's like the Mr. Clean Magic eraser of paint. More paint. All right, and then we're just going to maybe change this a bit because that kind of looks sloppy. All right, that will work. And if not, we can always go back a little bit later and change it up. Okay, I'm just going to keep going in here, you guys. And this takes me a little bit of time sometimes. So like my smaller pieces that are like zip 8 minutes, I can't do that on these bigger tiles, and I can't do it when I make a lot of modifications. So if you're starting to get bored and you don't want to listen to me chattering, you guys have the advantage. You can just push off and I'm gone. You can click right to the final result and you don't have to listen. So try to talk a little less. So it started out this morning in Greater Victoria as an absolutely gorgeous morning, and I thought, oh, it might be a nice day to get out and work in the yard. But in the last half an hour, the clouds have rolled in and it is getting grayer and grayer by the second. I think there's not a lot I have to do. There's lots I think I'd like to do. And as the weather gets nicer, you know, y'all start getting that bug to get outside. And this is really pretty, this purples and yellows together, and I'm not really wanting to disrupt it too terribly much because it's super, super nice. So let's just go up here. This is quite pretty in here too because it's quite shaded. But it's a nice contrasting line, so we're going to do it. Yeah, this is really pretty. It might be worth doing a piece in just purples and yellows. Easter colors. I'd like to get that out of there. Don't like this one little white freckle right there. Voila. Let's make it gone. Okay, let's carry on, guys. So let's make some little curly cues in here. Everybody likes the curly cues. Well, not everybody, but lots of people. So that's it, just hover over the top. It makes these funky little kind of lacy edges. Sometimes the paint holds better than others. Some colors hold better than others. But I think I've said almost every single time I do this, you guys go back in. 10 minutes later, go back in and do it again, because Sometimes the paint just needs to set up a tiny bit. Metallic colors don't work as well because they're a mica-based pigments, and the mica will break up into little particles. So it's not always that you're not doing something correct. It's the paint itself. Let's go in here. So sometimes I go all in the same direction, sometimes I go in different directions. So we go right and left, and each one of the directions changes the look, as you can tell. So yeah, don't be afraid to experiment. I hate that, so I'm just going to swirl that little swirl in there just to get rid of that piece. Well, I don't really know what to do. I don't really want to add a lot of black dots in here, you guys, because it's pretty complex as it is. And it might be a good case of less is more. And I don't want to mess with this because I really like that. See, here's my indecisiveness that I was talking about. Should I do more? Should I leave it alone? What should I do? Should I walk away now? Well, it's not very modified if I don't keep going. See, the dialogue that runs through my head is really quite scary. That's why I don't want to do videos. Why I didn't want to do videos. It's like, if you guys can hear what I think, you guys are all going to think I'm a whack job. I'm not. I'm not crazy. What should we do, you guys? Should we leave it alone? I think we should. My instinct tells me to walk away, and so I'm going to listen to that inner voice that says walk away, because at this point I don't think I can do anything to make it better. I'm liking it the way it is, and except this little freckle again that has popped back up. So let's just spin that out. And you know what? I'm just going to leave it because I can always do another piece rather than mess about and disrupt this piece. So I'm going to bring it down, have a look what we've done. Yeah, look at that, guys. All these beautiful colors. I'm going to bring you in a bit closer, show you a few more details. There's our little curly cues. As you can see, the ones on the top of this little piece here are breaking up. So I may go back in and twist them again, give the paint a few minutes to set up, and I'll go back. These weird little white cells are from our Bear House satin enamel. And this is a section I really like that didn't want to disrupt that at all. All right, my friends, it's only paint. You guys got this. Thank you so much for joining me in the kitchen. I'm really happy to be back painting. And thank you. You guys are awesome, amazing. It is so nice to wake up to your support and your kind words and your enthusiasm. You know what? Reach out, guys, if I can help with anything. I am an open book. I'm more than willing to help. You guys are great. Thank you. Pour happy, stay safe. We'll talk really soon, my friends. Bye for now.